Welcome back to Relationship Rescue, the podcast that helps you communicate clearly, set healthy boundaries, and create stronger connections before committing to serious relationships. I'm your host, Valery Molone, and today I'm joined by the incredible Michelle Barone, marketing influencer, media personality, and podcast host known for her bold voice and powerful message on personal branding and self-worth. We're diving deep into how your relationship with yourself impacts every other relationship in your life, including how you show up, communicate, and set expectations. If you've ever struggled to balance ambition with intimacy or wondered how to express your value in both love and work, this episode is for you. So let's get into it. Here's my conversation with Michelle Barone. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Michelle.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
My God, you're a busy woman. So you're a mom, you're a wife, and you have your own business, a successful entrepreneur. I'm going to start with asking you, what made you start in the media and marketing career?
That's a great question. I've been doing marketing for 23 years about.
Wow.
The way I actually started was my sister went to school for marketing, and she was really smart, and she was quite a few years ahead of me, and she told me it's a great career. So I said, all right, let me try. Um, and I always loved music. So when I was young, I started by building a good following in music, and took that following and have done so much since then.
Wow. And then you kind of took it to the media, right? And you also have a
Yes.
podcast. Your podcast is The Red. What is that about?
Sure. So I worked for iHeart for the last 20 years. Before that, it was Clear Channel. Um, and when it was Clear Channel, I started with them as a part-time jock, and I was with them for a long time, and then started a podcast called Red once their podcast platform rolled out. It's relevant, entertaining, dynamic. That's what Red stands for. I wanted to create this. It took us about a year to create the name because we really wanted to hit it on the head of what we wanted to promote, how we wanted to promote it, who our target audience was. Being the marketer, I was like, I got one shot. We have to make this great. So this is what we did. I worked with the person that created Beyonce's perfume line. She was really awesome and just super smart. And after many sessions, that's what we came up with. So we feature content creators, influencers, celebrities, and people of all walks of life who have a story to tell, their most viral moments, and who just have these charismatic personalities, or who are out on the scene.
Wow, that is so amazing. I started my podcast as like, I would just, because I'm a coach.
Yep.
So I started podcast just, I was saying to myself, because I always believe in inner power. The first name I started was Inner Power Insights. I
Yep.
came up with the name, but our first season when we interviewed people and I had some amazing people, it was so fascinating. But I was getting all these emails and they were telling me, well, you're a relationship coach. Why don't we talk about relationship? And that was really important to me because I always thought that the relationship with yourself is so important. You have
Yes.
to have a great relationship with yourself to succeed at work, to succeed at romantic relationship with
Yep.
everybody else. So after thinking a lot, we renamed it. And I was like, you know what? Because I was getting so much questions. So I literally named it like Relationship Rescue.
I love it.
Yeah, because people were like, what should I do? Or what should I say? Or how is the thing? So it was pretty cool. But I said, you know what? Why don't we change it to that? And
I love it.
give people advice on what it is to have a great relationship with yourself and with others. And I know that you're married and you have kids and you're successful. But tell the listeners, what is your advice for them? Because in today's society, a lot of young women like yourself, they have this battle between I want to be successful, I want to have my career put together, and then at the same time I'm getting older, I need to find love, I need to have this. It's kind of like a split road that they're kind of confused what to do, and they can't do both at the same time because they get overwhelmed. What would you say to
Yeah,
those?
it's really interesting. I do think every woman feels this. Women take on a large role in the family, right? They have to make sure dinner's on the table and make sure that their family's taken care of, and you're a mom first. That's what we all feel. But I also think having a sense of self is super important. I think it's hard work, but it's very important. And I think that the reward comes from your discipline. I truly do. If you can, the way that I live, I do a lot in my day, but I chop my day up to where I'm very strategic. I am at the gym in the morning. Then by 9 o'clock, 9:30, I'm in the office. We have 2 hours of sales, 2 hours of podcasts, scheduling. And then it's really just, you know, very, very scheduled. And I only give myself till 4, and then I'm very present for my kids. Once I get home, 4 to 7, I'm present with my kids. I'm at their games. I do this, I do that. I never miss a beat. There are times where I travel, and yes, my husband has to go that day. Um, but I think it's super important to have a sense of self. I also think my kids are encouraged by my work. I think, yes, they always want me there, but I'm always there. And if
Right.
if I happen to be away that week, I'm a phone call away. Um, I've limited myself to traveling once per bi-monthly. I could travel every day and be all over, but for my family and my needs, that's what I do. But I still feel a sense of purpose. When my kids go to some summer sleepaway camp, I spend more time traveling. So it really depends on your family dynamic, what you're looking to do as a women entrepreneur, and what you're looking to do in life. What are your goals? For me, it's all about what your goals are, and I know my goals and what I'm after. So I've made my life become tailor fit towards my goals.
Yeah. And beating yourself over that I have to find a love first and then I have to boost up my career and do something with career, or I have to do my career first or find love second. So that is the battle that women always go through. And it's just hard, especially when you get married and you have kids. Once you have a kid, my God, the game changes, right? How has
It does.
motherhood been with you?
Yeah, finding love is interesting. I love helping people find love, by the way. I think it's great. I don't have many requirements though, and you don't want to talk to me about this one because I'm like, do you have a pulse and you have a pulse? Let's make this happen. So you're going to yell at me for that one, but uh,
Actually, that's a great way to put it. No, I love it. I love it.
um, so I always like try to match people up that I just feel might be good for each other. It never really works, but it's okay. It's fun in the meantime. I do think that people, in reality, and to be in all seriousness, I do think that finding love is important. I think, like, once you have a solid relationship, or not, if that's what you so choose, then you can find stability in other things. I don't think it necessarily stems from love, but for me personally, if I'm good at home, whatever that means, I'm conquering it in the world. And for some people that might be finding love, for some people it might not be. If for some people it might be having a relationship and not taking it too serious, whatever that is to that person. I do think having a good foundation at home and a comfortability at home makes you your best self when you're out in public and in the world.
So when you met your husband, was he like your cheerleader? Did he support you through everything? Or you had to go through some stuff and be like, okay, now we're good and take me from here and it is what it is?
Yeah, I think my husband is an amazing man. He supports me through and through in every way.
Ah, that's the best.
Entertainment isn't his thing. So when, we're around the dinner table and I'm like, oh my God, I was with Mario Lopez, babe. We did it. It's awesome. I can't wait to do more with him. He's like, awesome. He's like, so what are we making for dinner? Like, that's the type of guy he is, right? He doesn't care about the glitz and glam. He loves me for me. And I think that's a
Oh.
really great thing, right? A lot of people in this business are like, oh my God, you just did this, you did this, you did this, and they're attracted to that. I like it because I want to see how far I can take it. Like, I know this is what I was born to do. I feel it in my soul. I know this is what my destiny is. And I just want to see where it takes me. And that's when it gets me out of bed every day and excites me. And for him, he loves me as his wife. He wants me to be a great mom and a great person at home. And if I accomplish what I want to accomplish, great, you know? So it's an
But
interesting dynamic.
but it's great though. It matches
It
because
is.
one balances the other. You
Yeah.
you you're like this with your career, and he's like, okay, great, honey, I'm here. I'm having great dinner with you. I want to spend time with you. That's the best part to have.
It is. And before any of this, we knew each other since fifth grade. So he saw me grow
Okay.
up. He saw me through thick and thin. I'm like, why do you actually like me? I don't
Right.
get it. But he wouldn't let me go. He tried to come get me when we were in high school. And I was like, I'm not into it. I think I would like somebody else, maybe. I don't know. But then all of a sudden he was so nice to me. And like, all these other guys were mean. And again, we were young. We were 18. I mean, I was a kid. And he was just always so nice to me, and no matter what, he'd always come back around. And he was just such a good person that I said, you know what, I have to give somebody nice a shot. And he was the best decision I ever made. He's my best friend, the love of my life. He really is a great man. I think every couple has their challenges. That's life. But if I had to like rate us a 10 out of 10, I would.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you on that for the listeners to listen to that. So when you say nice, because the nice and kind and gentleman and to you desire, everybody has their opinion of that differently.
Yes.
But as a woman that we want somebody to, like you said, be our best friend and understand us because we're our worst enemy, right? We look
Right.
at ourselves and we're never enough, but they look at us like, what the hell are you talking about? You're good, like I'm good. So tell these listeners, like, what is that nice, what did that make you feel like? Are you always yourself? Are you like open? Do you have some boundaries? Like, what does that look like in your relationship? Because people look at it from outside, be like, oh, they're so cool. And you're like, no, there was a moment that I told him, like, shut the fuck up. Like, no, this is what I want.
Well, there's definitely lots of those moments. I mean, come on, we're married.
Right, right.
But I would say that, like, for us, and for me in particular, I'm an open book. You know how I feel. If I don't feel something right away, like if I'm upset, I'm quiet. Or in 2 minutes, he's like, "What's the tude for?" And I'm like, "You're being an a-hole. Like, I don't like the way you're treating me right now." And then he'll come around and be like, "All right, well, I'm sorry." And we're always quick to apologize with one another. We don't like to go to bed upset. We are been together 22 years. We still hold each other all night long. Like, we're
Oh,
still very much attached. And I don't have a thing. I don't even think or look or even desire one other thing in life. And I think, when we got married, we made a commitment in front of God and we said, this is going to be it. And because we're settled and that's solidified, he's able to go run mega businesses, buy and sell companies, do big things, and I'm able to make my waves in entertainment. And there's no jealousy, there's no anger. The only things we ever argue about, I would ever say, is just like what everyone argues about. Like, oh,
little
the
things.
kids did this today. That's annoying.
Hmm.
How are we going to parent? How are we going to figure this out? Obviously, we've been very blessed and done very well in our life, but no matter how much money you have, there's always, oh, well, I want this and I want that. There's always those kinds of things. And I think every couple deals with stuff like that. Um, but I'd say, like I said, we don't really fight much. We just live, we enjoy each other, we give our kids great experiences, and we live life to the fullest. So we're very lucky, we're blessed. And we've really committed to one another, and it's good.
I think that's so amazing because I just want to repeat what you just said, that you don't go to bed mad. I think
Yep.
that's such a good rule to have, regardless of what communication, right? And the end of the night, you're like, okay, whatever it is, we can figure it out.
Yeah,
I
and trust
think
me, I want to. I want
I,
to sometimes. And I
yeah.
know he does more than I do.
No, but that's so important because we forget, communication is the number one
Yep.
key in a relationship. And you'd be amazed, Michelle, how many people are lacking that. It's
Yep.
so funny. They don't realize it till they realize it. Like,
Right.
they want something and they keep it to themselves. We
Right.
make it in our head. And it's like, I thought, I assume, I want, because, and it's like, but you didn't say it.
Exactly. And if you don't say something, how are we supposed to know,
Because
I how
as a woman, we think that guys are mind readers and they can read our mind, but they really not.
right. Right. They're not.
So, and the other thing that you said, it was really profound. Committed to yourself, and you promised and you committed to yourself, and you said like, you know what, this is till death us apart. So whatever it is, it's not as big of a deal for our love and for our commitment to be with each other.
Right.
So I think that's another thing that's missing from a lot of relationship, right? Especially now, like even the title, they don't have a title. If you ask them like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, oh, we're just hanging out. Like, what the fuck does that
Yeah.
even mean?
Exactly. What does that mean? And like, how do you feel? Like, women don't feel cool hanging out. That's bullshit. That is not how women feel, appreciated. um
Right.
Even if they say they do, I just can't imagine a woman feeling comfortable with hanging out with someone like I feel like we're all beings of where's this headed. And some women do, but I don't know. I think I for me, again, I'm going to just speak for me. I like being in a committed relationship, knowing what I come home to every day, having a solid family life, and projecting my best out into the world.
I think everybody does, Michelle.
Yeah.
I think everybody does. Unfortunately, a lot of people give that away just because they compromise.
Right. 100%.
They
Yep.
compromise themselves, they compromise their career, just because they don't speak up and say that. And this is why I'm really passionate about, like you, I heard you saying empower women. And I think we should empower ourselves to tell to each other, like, talk about it.
Yeah,
I always tell people, put all your fucking cards on the table.
that's right. Put everything on the table, bitches. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's it. Don't no hiding, no this, no that. And you work around celebrities. You've been around things. So, and the other thing that you said, that you know him before you became successful and everything. You guys knew each other, and that's another insecurity, that once you're successful, you don't know who's gonna go for you looking money, and who you're gonna go with you loving yourself. Because you see a lot of celebrities, they're having a hard time getting people because
Right.
the
Yeah,
trust is
exactly.
there, right?
Yep. I do think trust is a really big problem today. There's so many ways to reach out to people. Like years ago, if you would go out and you went to a bar, that was kind of where you met someone that wasn't whatever. Now you could literally jump on an app and close it down in 5 minutes. Like you can meet people day and night, you can have conversations no one sees. I just think there's lots of ways to hide things. I also think there's lots of ways that things can be transparent. But honesty is the best policy. If you're happy, then be happy. If you want to date other people, date other people. I don't know. To me, it's all about being happy, being present, and again, when I made a commitment to my husband, that was a commitment. As far as the success goes, my husband and I, when we were very young, were both poor and came from nothing. And our parents worked really hard and provided a life for us. And then we saw that like money makes the world go round, and we live in America and it's capitalist, and that's what's cool here, and that's what makes you confident and feel successful and be successful. And I said to him, I'm very motivated to do well, and I knew he was too. And because we got together at 19 years old, we were able to save a lot of money, and we were 10 years ahead of our peers because we did things earlier, and we saved earlier,
Mm.
and we were committed earlier. I think knowing what you want earlier sets you up for your future. That kind of happened because we were both like products of really hardworking Italian families, and we had saw eye to eye. We were same religion, same culture, same Sunday dinner, literally like food choice for food choice. It was like, all right, we're making the same thing at your house that we're making at my house. So because we had all of those similarities, we also had the work ethic. And um I think that's what made us successful. We really wanted it. We worked hard. We figured it out. It was grassroots. I got a good education. He dropped out of college and was like, I'm just going to go work. I think I can do this. And I believed in him, and we believed in each other and have done really well. And, we're just scratching the surface. 40 is the new 20. We are definitely not old. And although both of us could be retired at this point, we're both very excited to continue to see what the next chapter holds. So
Oh my God, you have too much energy and personality to retire.
exactly. I just love the business too much, and I love people. So I like you, like I just
Amazing.
love people, and I can't give it up. So
It is so amazing. I love people, and I love people with a great energy. By the way, what is your sign?
um
Go ahead.
everyone always, why does everyone ask me that? I'm a Pisces. It's funny.
The reason I ask, okay, I have a legit reason. I'm gonna
Tell
tell you
me,
why.
tell me. I want to know.
Okay, I just I just received a book. I don't believe in astrology,
Yeah.
from one of the author that is I'm going to be interviewing.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, so I every time when somebody has a book, obviously we have to read their book to make understand what's going on, whatever. As a podcast interview, and I
Yes.
love to read. So by the way, English is my second language. If I'm saying anything that is not good,
I love you. Like you're such a gung ho. You're into it. This is great.
okay, so you can always correct me. But
No, you're doing good.
I read the book. Okay, I read the book, but the book is literally about psychology of every sign. So I was like, oh shit, right? So
Yeah.
I read it, but every chapter is literally for a specific sign of, that person. And it's just so accurate, Michelle. I couldn't believe it.
Really?
I swear to God. It's so accurate. I'm gonna have her, and I believe in 2 weeks, I'm gonna interview her. I'll let you know about the thing. I'll shoot you a DM.
Yeah, please do, because I
Yeah.
want to know. I want to figure it out. Pisces, I don't know much about it because I haven't been into it, but I got to look it up too. You got to
Yeah.
send me her book.
So the reason I interested, because I have two daughters, okay? One is a Taurus and the other one is Gemini.
Okay.
My Gemini is Teretita's Gemini.
That's my husband.
It's like, and you have to read it because you can understand them. And you know what she said to me? You have to read mine so you can understand who I am. I said, oh, I will. Oh, I will.
That's funny.
Yeah. But Pisces are very, very energetic and such a good people. You guys are very ambitious. And I'm not going to spoil for you. You have to read it yourself. But such a great people. I have a great friend
Thank
that
you.
is, yeah, Pisces. And this book was amazing. And just reading it to understand other people and yourself is such a help because now you see people because it's human nature, you're like, oh, you are the way you are. Okay, this is why.
Right.
Because you're, Virgo or you're this or that. I don't know how accurate it is. I would say the book is very accurate, but I don't know people believe how
Right.
accurate their belief is. But your sign is a pretty cool sign.
Yeah, I'm a water sign. I know that. And I really do love people, and I love to like make people feel warm and special. And I think that's the Italian in me. It's
I was
just
just gonna say yes.
having I love having people over and just being the host and enjoying my friends and family. That's what life's about.
Italian people do that. I love Italian people.
Yeah.
You guys are so
Well,
big in a
are you
family.
Spanish?
No, I'm not. I'm actually
Wh-
Persian.
Persian. Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was like South American, Spanish,
No,
Persian, Colombian. Okay.
I'm Persian. Yeah, we have this pretty similar culture
Oh
as you.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I have so many friends that are Persian. Very
Yeah,
similar.
very family oriented. Food is everything to us. We
Yes.
cook a lot and things like that. So it's very, but all kidding aside, so the culture, and I mean, it matters when it comes to relationship and success in life. Because back then it was so simple. Like you said, you were taught so simply that your parents worked hard and you were like, you know what, I'm going to make something out of it. But now people make it so complicated. Everything is so complicated. So if a person listening to you right now and says that, Michelle, like, what are some boundary that you set when it comes to your professional life that you said, you know what, I'm going to say no to that. And I'm, because I have a family, because I'm a mom, because I need to do this as well as successfully run my business.
This was a tough one for me because I love everybody and I give everyone a shot. If someone calls me, I answer. So what I've done is during the day, I really don't like to have calls with friends. When they call me, my friends pretty much know not to call during the day, and they try to catch me at night or before my day starts. Um, I have a handful of best friends, and those women I talk to every day about every situation. I think it's important to have a team that's cheerleading for you, that has your best interest. And I think that having healthy boundaries with those women are important too, right? Like, hey, if I didn't tell you this, it's not because I was upset with you or anything, but like I kind of lay the law out when I have a friend. Like, this is the way I operate. I love women. I'm all about women. Anyone I know, here's my contact list. Go for it. Like, I'm a big open book. The only things I ask for in return is like respect and like, you know, if a friend of mine is going through male drama, right, and it starts to affect me, where my mind will be like, well, she's having a great time with this new guy she's dating. I do step back a little bit because I don't want that to infiltrate my mind. I'm a happily married woman and I'm very focused on that. And I think that you have to surround yourself with people in a similar situation. Now, I have plenty of friends who've been divorced. I have plenty of friends who have been and I'm there at night crying with them. But I also, they have to understand too that I'm married and I can't go on a girls trip for 5 days. Like, I'm home with my kids and I don't want to leave my kids for 5 days. When I'm 50 and my kids are grown up, let's take the girls trip. But I can't do that 5 times a year. Once a year or once every couple years, cool. But there's just certain things you have to do, right? If you're in a committed relationship, and I don't try hard. It's just like what's in my head and how I feel. Now, um I also think like it is important, if you're with someone, you're with them through thick and thin. And I know that sounds crazy based on what I just said, but there's a balance there. And I just spoke to my friend last night who's going through a lot with her ex. And I'm like, listen, we're going to figure it out. I'm here for you, girl. We got this. But at the same time, like I also don't want to be, again, the one out at a bar with them till 1 o'clock in the morning, hoping, they're saying with their husband, hey, I'm with my friend Michelle. I don't want to be that person in anybody's life. So those kinds of things. So it's always a
Awesome.
balance, right?
It's
Um,
so important.
it
Yeah.
is important, and and so many people go through so many things, and you want to be there for them, but you also have to have your own self-respect and say, no, this is who I am. This is my box. Yeah, I love you. I'll always be there for you, but this is the box I live in. Um, and I think the boundary part is tough because, like I told you, I love everybody. And I always find myself in these situationships with women that are tough because I want to be there, but I have to put myself and my family first. And so my husband and I have worked through those kinds of things, We put each other first, we put our kids first. After that, then we worry about everybody else. And that's really hard to do for me because I'm a people pleaser. So um, so that's my biggest challenge in life, to be honest with you. From a business perspective, I really got it down to a science at work and making sure I'm strategically doing everything I need to do, and I get it all done by 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm home, then I'm with the kids. I have a good system. I work 5 minutes from my house, and I have a great team. So all of that is working well. It's just, and again, keeping a good circle of friends that have similar interests, that value what you value, that have your back, that'll fight for you like you fight for them when no one else is there, and have the same goals, not all the same goals, but some of them, because you have to be relatable to the person, right? um
Yeah, especially like you said, I'm glad you brought that point because a lot of our listeners are age of like 30 to like 40,
yep.
and some of them, like you said, when they find a serious relationship, they're in a relationship, and their single friends are like, "Oh, you give us up for your
Right.
relationship, or you give us thing, or vice versa, or they like said like break up with somebody or did that they were not serious and they vent. It's not
Right.
they asking for help, but they keep venting. But after a while, you're like, I have kids, I have a husband, I
Yeah.
love you, but you're not asking for help. You keep venting to me.
Yeah. Like, I am always there to listen, but I think the difference is, like, I'm not going to be your girl sitting there all night with you drinking 10 bottles of wine. I can't do that at this point in my life, and I'm here for you and I love you, and I'll help you through it to the best of my capacity because I
Yeah.
love you, but my boundary is, like, I can't do that stuff. I'm not going to jeopardize my life for someone that's going through something else. That is my boundary, right? That is it.
That's it. Like that is so powerful, right? When you talk about it, now that you conquered it, it's so simple. But do you know how many girls and guys have a problem with that?
Yeah, yeah.
They simply go around the conversation. They try to dodge it. Either they don't say anything or they actually do things that they don't want to do
Right.
just because.
One of my best friends is going through it, and she'll call me every day talking to me about it, and I'm there for her, and I hold her hand, and I truly, like, between you and I, and this is a little crazy, but I say to myself, all right, I have literally 30 minutes to talk about this, and I try to keep it short. I'm there for the person, and I make them feel like I'm there because that's important. It's very important when you're a good friend, you're really a friend. But they also have to understand. And I just say to them, guys, listen, you know, I love you. I'll do I would do anything for you. You know I would. And I'm here. Come cry with me on my couch. But that's my boundary. The phone call is really it because it's all I can give. My kids come first. And that's it.
That is so powerful.
Yep.
That really is. And it's the hardest thing to do. And I
It
know
is.
exactly, especially if you have kids and husband and things, is so hard. But to
And it's
do
hard
it,
to keep good friends like that because I don't want to seem, because when I go through things, I call them and rely on them too.
right?
But but I think we're all in this place, all my hardworking mamas who have husbands, who are in happy marriages as best they can be, because raising kids is hard in this world, right? um and any woman that I'm close to like that, we all have a mutual respect for one another, and of course, if someone gets sick or they need help, we're
Right,
there.
right,
If,
right.
we're all really tight knit in there for one another, and I think that's important. I really do.
And when you set a boundary for yourself, then you understand other people's boundary as well.
100%. And sometimes I don't like the boundaries other women have. Sometimes it's like, well, do you really have to go home with the kids tonight? I miss you. Come over. But they do. And I get
Yeah.
it. And that's
Yeah.
okay. We'll meet up next weekend. Like, that's what you have to do as a mom. It is harder to have friends though, because you all want to be together all the time, but there's lots of things stopping that.
Let's talk about that. How has the motherhood changed you?
Oh, motherhood's been quite a ride. My first son, he's just, oh my God, he's like the love of my life. He's so beautiful and such a great person. And I love him more than anything in the world. And he changed our life, you know? We were free birds and now we always needed a sitter. I'm like, how do we do this? Um, no, but he's just such a delight, great personality. Everyone calls him the mayor at school. He's a love bug. And then my middle one, he was colicky from birth and a tough toddler. Oh my God, he gave me a run for my money. But I will tell you this, he is the golden child. He's so smart. He literally gets 100 on every test. I think his lowest grade's like a 90. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I don't have the capacity you have at your age. You're amazing. He's an amazing athlete. He's just all the way around a great kid. Um, but he's got certain things we have to work through too, personality wise. Every kid's different. And then my daughter, she's just the sweetest thing. Oh my God, I love her. She's like, she sings her heart out every day. Anytime the boys are frustrating me or fighting, she's like, Mom, it's going to be okay. And I'm like, all right, I have my little teammate here. So she's my little cheerleader. I prayed so hard for her. I wanted a girl so bad.
I was gonna
uh,
say.
yeah, so I'm so happy I have my babies, and they're the best thing in life. I'm blessed, you know?
So that's so cool. That is so cool. Being a mother is the best thing ever.
It is.
When
It
people
is.
tell me, and a lot of listeners are listening to us right now, I always, when people tell me, like, I don't want to have kids or I'm like, that's great for you. That's
Yeah,
great for you if
that's
you figure that
fine.
out. That's amazing. But for me, I'm cheerleader for, babies because I
Me
love
too.
babies. Yeah. And the reason for me, it was because I got married very young and I left my country a long time ago. And when I came here, I didn't have no family. So
Wow.
yeah, so having my kids was, Michelle literally was my family. Like I didn't
That's
have no
amazing.
friends here. I didn't have no family here. My marriage was arranged and I came here, couldn't speak English,
It was
couldn't read.
arranged.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
See, that's hard.
And he was older than me. He was much older than me. And I got pregnant. And I kid you not, Michelle, I remember I was like, the matter, he was very abusive physically,
Oh my God.
emotionally. Yeah, that's a whole story that I will tell you some other time. But I was just so looking forward to, because I said to myself, this is my family. So my two girls are my mom, my dad, my best friends, my friends, everything. And we kind of grew up
Well, you
together.
have me now, and I will.
Oh,
I'm
thank
here.
you. Thank
That's
you.
sad.
Yeah, but I just love them because we grew up to be best friends because I had them so young.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they're like my best friend. And I always say, like, that's kind of love, like it just a whole nother level.
Oh my God. You're just gonna make me cry.
Oh my God, girl. I could tell you stories of things. But this is why I have this podcast, because I want to encourage women to, like, no matter what situation you are, you can always come out of it. You can always make a choice and you can always speak your truth and live for yourself.
100%. And that's why, like I said to you, like, honest to God, like, there's so many types of divorce, right? And things like this, like, oh my God, they break my heart. They do. They break my heart because, like, a lot of women go through it and don't get out of it. And
I
then they're
know.
sitting there for years, right? And they end up with no good people in their life, nowhere to turn. Oh my God, that's just horrible.
And
Horrible.
it's so funny because this conversation coming in a great time, because I had a conversation with my daughter, and I want to hear your opinion on that as well. The Casey, and the Diddy case and the Casey and the things that doing, and for somebody that's been through all of that and more, watching that, it just, Michelle, I was just like, it was like flashback
No,
coming back, and I was like, I know how she feels. And I'm not saying because of, on behalf of women, that whatever, but no, that was done to me. Like, I know how she feels,
that's horrible.
you know? Like, this is what it is. It's so belittling. It's so unhuman to get beat up by a guy like a
Oh,
dude.
please. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And my
So,
opinion on it is it's absolutely atrocious. And that woman, okay, deserves, I don't know what, but
yeah,
everything that the world has to offer. And I pray for her. You
me too.
know, I pray so hard for her, for you, and people like that. Oh my God, I would do
Thank you.
anything for
Thank you.
anything.
Yeah, but this is why I said to myself, I'm not gonna let that go, Michelle, and just sit down and do nothing.
You can't. That's different. Like, and I want to make that clear. My perspective on, like, I have friends that just don't want to be married because they just want to go out and do what they want to do. And
That's
that's what I
great.
was
Yeah.
referring to. I
Right.
don't want to be in that situation where I'm caught up with girlfriends that just want to go buck wild like they're 20.
Right.
In these circumstances, and I really want to make that clear, because in these circumstances, it's a totally different ball
Oh
game. I
yeah.
mean, this I've had a friend who went through this, and I helped her with everything. I mean, there's a local not-for-profit here that helps women who are in fortunate situations like this, and I've helped her go through it all. And that type of person I would do anything for,
God bless you for that. God
you
bless
know.
you. Because
And I've done it many times. It's
yeah,
horrible. I'm so
bringing
sorry.
bringing awareness to that, and here's why I think it's important to bring awareness to that, and that's why I have this podcast of relationship. Because when you come to America, Michelle, it's America, for God fucking sake.
Yeah,
Right, we're in America. You
we're in
think that
America.
okay, woman power, we could do anything you want.
Yes,
But there's so many people out there that are in literally jail in their house in America that a lot of people don't know nothing about. And I was one of that for 10 years. And I would go out, Michelle, putting the kids to bed, and I was looking at my neighbors, and I was talking to them, and I would envy. I was like, oh my God, you guys can go wherever you want. I have to go back inside. Like I have to go back and say, you have no idea how that mentally fucks you up, you know? So this is why it's important to talk about it and bring it, because people need to understand. To me, it was like live or die. That's really what the two choice. It is live or die. He told me that I will kill your kids and I will kill
oh
you.
my God.
Yeah. So I wish this to nobody, to my worst enemy. And woman, if you're listening, please, 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 please make sure you go with a guy that respects you, that loves you, that want to be with you, and don't go because just because. Do not do that. And you can be in so many situations. And as a woman, we should help each other and we should talk about it and we should say it so the other woman can hear it. Because if you can do it, Michelle, if I can do it, they can do it too.
That's for sure. And I am so sorry to hear about your story. Thank you for being honest. I think you're going to
You're
help
welcome.
so many women in your situation. And I think that I think that you could change a lot of women's lives by sharing your story. So thank you for having the courage to do it.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, because I always feel like if I can save one person, I think I did my job.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe you went through all of this, and you're so powerful. Look at what you're doing now.
I think, yeah, I
Coming
love
from
what I
another
do.
country, English is my first language, and I'm scared to even. I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
No, but that's why I bring people like yourself, because like you're a mom and you have three beautiful kids and you're happily married for the longest time and you have a successful career and people see you outside and people envy you and people say like I want to be like Michelle, but and let's talk about that but.
But you can do it.
I
Like,
know.
it's all about discipline, right? It's like, if you want to lose weight, you got to stop eating the crap, right? You
Yeah.
have to go on a calorie deficit. And trust me, I am a voluptuous woman. So
So am
I
I.
I love to eat. It's not good. It's one of my things, but I will say, like, speaking in my truth, I just feel like you can do it. Don't doubt. Take the doubt out of your head, shelf it. This is what I tell my kids. My son's like, Mom, I'm scared of my test. It's not going to change whether you're scared or not. So put it on the shelf, deal with it when you have to, and then we'll move forward. And
That's it.
that's it.
Believing yourself.
Believe in yourself. I had a record, a whole album called Believe in Me in my early 20s. And I just poured my heart out saying, like, everyone's always told me I'm such a great person. Everyone's always told me I can do it. How come I don't believe it? And I was like, you know what? It's time for you to believe in me, because I believe it so much. You're going to believe it too.
Wow. Wow. You're blessed with that because I think that's a lot of people lacking that believing themselves.
Yeah, but
They
you know what?
like
For
it.
you to be out here after what you've been through, you're 10 times stronger than 100 times stronger than me.
Oh, girl, thank you. But like, I had an interview with a makeup artist, and she paused and she asked me. She's like, "I wonder why you put yourself first after when the kids were born, because it's truly."
You have to.
I didn't care, Michelle. I didn't care about myself. I was like, okay, you get beat up. Okay, so you get this. But once there's another life depending on you, the game changes, you know? It's like I'm a mom and I have to protect these girls. And that's when I said to myself, you have no choice but to fucking believe in yourself. Like you got to do something. So whatever it takes, I don't care what it is, whether you're overweight, whether you don't have a good job, whether you don't have money, whether you don't have love. You have to get to that point to say to yourself, you know what? I believe in myself. It's been done before and I can do it too.
100%. Even if you're not the smartest or you have to be hardworking in life and you have to be disciplined to some degree to have success. It's part of success, right? Um, but figuring it out will come with experience. So
Oh yeah.
just start, and then it will come. Relationships will happen with other people. Other people will help you. The giver's gain. Give to
That's
others and it
it.
comes back to you. That's what you need to think about. And I've had so many blessings and I've done so much for so many others. So to me, it really is just full circle. And I don't
Oh
do
yeah.
it to gain, but I do it because I love people. My greatest gift out of all I do is my gift to other people. I love
Wow.
others.
And I listen, whether you want it or not, that's just the way it is. It'll come
That's
back to you.
just, yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
It
if you
will.
do it to expect something, it never
Right.
works. And people can
That's
see
right.
right through you. But
Yep.
if you just do it just because you're like, you know what, I'm doing it. I don't care if I get anything or not. I'm just going to do
Yep.
it anyway. That's the best way to do it. And go back to the education. Girl, talk about education. I
Yeah.
couldn't fucking read. Michelle, I went to the bank. The girl told me to put your initial. I didn't know what that was.
I
She
love
thought
it.
I was stupid.
You're not stupid. You were going through a lot. Are you kidding?
So, but you know what I'm saying? People going to say what they're going to say.
That's right.
Either they don't know or they're just arrogant.
That's right. Yep.
But that's just the way it is, right?
That's right. But you did it and you're here now and
There
you're
we go.
killing it.
And we're here. And out of all me coming all the way from here to meet an amazing person like yourself, to me, do you know how
Thank you.
amazing that is?
I know, right?
That is
See?
so
And
fucking
you too.
cool.
You too. So now listen, it's cool for me too. 100%.
Yeah. And this is what we're talking about, connecting with people and caring about people and doing
Yeah.
all of that, you know? So your relationship is a traditional old-fashioned relationship, but unfortunately a lot of young girls and boys today, they're suffering so much and they don't know. They're like, I want to make money, but I want to find love, but I want to do this, but then or they go or dating is so hard now. Dating is so hard. There's a lot of young men that are looking for girls, a lot of young girl, a single girl looking for a guy, but they never find each other because, like you said, know what you want in your life and go for it.
Every Dating has always been hard. Like, let's be real. Going out and going to a bar was my only resource. I don't want to meet a guy at a bar. Like, that's not the type of guy I want. So where else are you supposed to meet somebody at work? Well, if that doesn't happen, what do you change jobs 500 times? Like prior to online dating, how are you supposed to meet somebody, right? It's tough. Dating's always been hard. Now it's like, well, everything's at your fingertips, but everyone's dating everyone and it's weird. And online dating's awkward because you don't know what the person's going to be like in real life and it's blah, blah, blah. Dating's always been hard because it's emotional and it's personal. That's why it's
Yeah.
hard. It doesn't matter what the media is, right? What the source is to getting to the person. It's awkward, it's hard, it's uncomfortable for everybody. Always has been, always will be. The thing I think that's going to change the game, I do think AI is going to have a profound impact on dating. I think by even though I was kidding before and said two people with a pulse, right? I do think that if you can truly match a person, if an AI bot could match you with someone that has literally very similar makeups, or like you said, what's your sign? Well, maybe Taurus and Pisces go together 90% of the time, and you match behaviors based on sign, based on 2,000 algorithmic data
Mm,
points. I do think that's a really strong couple just because of science.
right.
So I do think AI is going to have a very strong change in the game for dating. It's not going to take away the awkwardness. It's not going to take away the personal, and it's not going to be right every time. It's still a robot or it's still an algorithm. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm excited to see what AI does to the dating world. I also think that being open is important.
Yeah.
Most are not. So you're like, oh, I'm not gonna date that guy. He doesn't look good. Ooh, this guy over here, I don't like his job. Ooh, he's not. Don't like him. Oh, and by the way, don't love his sister, who I knew from like second grade. You have to be open. If you're gonna find a reason every time, you're never finding anyone. Like, it's a methodology. Dieting, dating, marketing, business, family, household success, money, everything is the same. It is a discipline. You schedule time, you work on it, you manage it, you have several dates, several meetings, several sessions at the gym, and you find success. That's the way life works. It's, well, if you go on one date in 1 week, guess what? You're not finding anyone for 6 months, because the likelihood, just sheer numbers, is you're
Yeah.
not going to find anybody going on one date a week for a long time. It's just not enough people. You have to go out often. You have to make it a priority. You have to take the emotion out of it and make a great decision, and then you'll find success. That is with love, that's with dieting, that's with with
Yeah.
marketing, that's with podcasting. It's a discipline. The more you do it, the more you connect, the more you become confident in it, and the more you find success. That's how life works.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Consistency. Be consistent, make a decision, believe in yourself, and go. The first step is believe in yourself. The second step, commit yourself to
Right.
something, consistency, and then progress. And
Progress.
yeah, little progress can actually boost benefits,
Oh yeah.
because
And
people,
like, yeah, and like you said, like little progress. Like if you go on 2 dates and you figure out what you don't want, great. Then you'll miss out on the next three that aren't going to be the winners. And then you'll narrow it down. And it's the same thing with a marketing campaign. You try two campaigns and one's working more than the other. Great. Do more of those. Then that stops and you do something else.
hmm
You have to reinvent. You have to consistently grow. It's exhausting. It's tiring. So what would you rather do? Sit home and be a bump on a log and watch everyone on social media. That's easy. Anyone can do that.
yeah.
That's not what's going to make you happy. What's going to make you
Mm.
happy is finding success in each avenue. Money, relation, success, financial wealth or financial success, relationship success, family dynamic success, all
Mm.
of these things make up your happiness. And to some people, things don't matter as much. Maybe they don't have family, they don't care. Fine. But
That's okay.
something makes them happy and it still works the same way.
Yeah, that's okay. Because
Yeah.
success and happiness is different for everybody, right?
Correct.
It
Yep.
doesn't matter what it is, as long as you can accomplish it, whatever it is for you that you're doing that
Right.
works for you.
And some people just don't want to work less. That's a lot of people I know. Biggest accomplishment. I worked 20 years. I don't want to work anymore. All right,
That's
great.
okay.
Well, that's okay. What does that look like? How are you going to do it? Guess how you're going to do it? Consistency. You're going to start with a
Mm.
plan. You're going to save enough money. You're going to find success and you're going to be able to stop working. Everything works the same way.
You are such a beautiful person inside and outside, Michelle.
No, you. Thank you.
Oh, seriously.
Thank
You're
you.
an amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time and talking to me
Thank you,
and
honey.
being here with us.